On today's 30-minute mechanic, we've got our new valve body right there from REB Performance. It's a full manual valve body for a 4R70W or an AODE if you got one of those. So today, we're going to crawl under this car. I know, my favorite place, laying on the floor. We're going to crawl under this car, drop the pan, and get the fluid drained out of it and take a look around and get it prepared to stick that dude in there. So buckle up, let's go. All right, well, I'll just give you a quick look at what we got here. Full manual valve body, no computer required for this particular valve body. Can't get this unstuck. Comes with a harness, plugs in the transmission, and there's just 4 wires right there that you got to hook up. And comes with instructions, tells you where to hook them up and what to do with them. So that's a piece of cake. Let's see what we got here. Not sure I can do this with one hand. Well, no. Need something sharp. I need something sharp. Got something sharp. There we go. And we're back. And that's our valve body right there. Looks to have a gasket pre-installed on it. So it's ready to stick in the car, I think. There's a selector valve, slides back and forth. I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of reading on how to do this before I completely dive in, because, you know, never done one on one of these. I've done an AOD and I've done C6s, but never 4R70W. So it might be different. Okay. I'm going to jack this car up just a little bit higher so I can actually get under it, and then we'll set about getting the pan off. Now, I know you're sitting there wondering, James, it's a full manual valve body, but does it have a trans brake? No, it does not have a trans brake. I considered doing a trans brake, but I feel like this car, ouch, hang on a second. Before I finish that, I feel like this car is probably going to be stressing the 4R70W, the basically stock 4R70W, enough without throwing a trans brake in there and adding any more potential points of failure. See if we can get these jack stands raised up. Then I'll have a little more room to move under there. Might go even just a little bit higher. Maybe I can get one more click in. Perfect. Now, I saw a hack the other day for jack stands where they put numbers on the little teeth on the jack stand so they could get their jack stands even each time. And I wondered, why didn't I ever think of that before? I haven't done these, but I'm gonna. Because I have no idea. That one's got 2. Well, that's the same height right there. Okay. Let's ease it down now and then give it a little shake. Good to go. Move that out of the way. And we're ready to get underneath. All right, for once, I am prepared. I am prepared to make a giant mess. So I got a roll of towels over here. I was going to grab gloves, but I decided I don't want my gloves completely soaked with transmission fluid. This is probably my least favorite thing to do ever is, you know what, if I had half a brain, if I had half a brain, I would do what I did with my E4OD and take a drill and drill a tiny hole, boop, and let it drain, and then just weld the hole up when I'm done. That, I have half a brain, so I'm going to do that. Time out. Artificial light. Time in. I'm back. Now what I'm going to do is probably make a giant mess. But what I'm going to do is try to drill just a small drain hole. I'm going to put that guy in high gear. Boink. And then we'll let that drain out. And then when we're finished, we'll just jump. When we're finished, we'll just get the welder and just zap that hole back up. I did that on my E4OD once upon a time, and it worked really well. I mean, I guess I could put a plug in there and just make a drain plug out of that, but I think I'm just gonna probably weld it back up. That'll get most all of the fluid out of this thing, so I can drain it out. And yeah, no trans brake on this deal. I really went back and forth on trans brake. Yes, no, yes, no. And, you know, we got stock axles, you know, a stock 8.8 drive shaft I built, 4R70W, stock 4R70W with a 460 with a single turbo. And I think that I'll probably be on the edge of what this stuff can handle already. So I probably shouldn't put a trans brake in. The trans brake valve bodies were about $1,000, and that was just too much for me to deal with. I didn't want that much, and then other issues come along with having trans brakes. Some you have to push the button to go in reverse, and just didn't want to go there just yet. So I went with I don't mind shifting my own gear, so I went with the manual valve body from Broader, full manual. It has you have to push a button for overdrive and push a button for the lockup, but that's not a big deal. I can handle that. Everybody does that with their AODEs and these things. I think Transgo makes a kit, a full manual kit, but it still uses the vacuum. It uses a vacuum modulator, so it knows what the engine's doing. to set line pressure and everything. And you had to have another kit to go with it if you're running boost. And I really didn't want to dive into this transmission or into the valve body like that. I've done shift kits before, but this one, it just seemed like a little more stuff than I wanted to fool with. And I really didn't save a lot of money over this one. And Jay, I've used Jay's products. Like I said, in my 83, it has a full manual, actually has a reverse manual valve body in the C6, and I've had it in there forever, and it's been great. And then we got a fixed line pressure, full pattern, forward pattern, what are you going to call, valve body in Jake's car over there, that in the AOD. And, it's worked really good too. So, he builds quality stuff. So check him out at Broader Performance. He has a YouTube channel, where he shares stuff about transmissions. It's pretty informative. So if you have a chance, I'll add him to my list of people in the comments section. So go to the description, and there'll be a link to Jay's site down there, and you can go check out his YouTube channel and his transmission products. Now it looks like we're getting about drained out here. I'm going to go ahead and start popping bolts out. You can start making me stop listening to me. What do I want to do here? One thing I didn't think about was I'm probably going to need a pan gasket. Actually, what I want to do is leave that one. What am I doing here? Being dumb. Leave one in on it. Leave one in over here. Oh. Probably gonna need a pan gasket. We jump to the other side, and then we'll see if we can just set this pan out somewhere. Oh, yep, here we are. Gonna be a miracle if I don't drop one of these in this bucket of juice. Now, where am I going to go with this? I think I'll just set it right over there. Maybe. That one's out. And then I got this one. Now this transmission was empty, so I put a few quarts in it. So when I fired the engine up, it wouldn't just be empty. So it'd have some fluid in it to lubricate stuff while the motor was running. So this is my first look inside this. Gosh, that really looks good. There's a little bit of stuff on the magnet, but we'll look at that. We'll clean that pan up and look at it in a little bit. All right, give me a rag. Wipe my fingers off. Let's wipe this pan rail down a little bit here. Transmissions always crack me up because, you take apart an engine and they're all black and gross inside. And then you take a transmission apart and it's like perfect looking. Everything looks terrific. It's not black and brown and everything's all shiny. It's just got fluid on everything. And it just cracks me up. Okay, let's go back to the side. Ouch. Okay, I'm back. Take my little rag here. Need to wipe my pan rail down a little bit. Not that that's really anything. That just makes me feel better. Then we got a filter here. I think it just pulls out. I'll set it in the pan. Our dipstick tube. Our dipstick. Kind of in the way, but we'll pluck it out from above. Now here's where I don't know what I'm doing. This is where I'm probably going to have to stop for a little bit and go learn what bolts I have to take out, because there's a whole bunch of them. Yep. I'm thinking all these 8mm head ones are going to be the ones. There's some other ones that look like, I don't know, they may be 10mm. They probably don't come out. Really looks great inside. Okay. I think I may just pause for today and take a look in the pan. Get the pan out of here, kind of look at it and see what kind of gunk's in it. Now this transmission, Jake got this transmission in Colorado. He had what year was that car? 98? He had a 98 Cobra, 5-speed, and he was going to swap it to a 4R70 and was considering doing a turbo swap on it. So he bought this transmission on Marketplace or something, and we've never had the pan off of it, but from what I've seen, it looks really good. So, all right, we are done under here for now, for the time being. Okay, clean the pan up. The gasket appears to be one of those reusable style, so I'm just going to reuse it. It looks like it's in good shape. Pan cleaned up really nice. I mean, this is probably one of the cleaner used transmissions on the inside that I've ever used. The AOD that was in this car had some stuff in the pan, not a whole lot. The C6 that's in Judd's Galaxy had a gob of stuff in it, but it works great. We cleaned it up and it works great. Even taking that one apart the last time when I had Scotty rebuild it, it had some stuff in the pan, some surprising amount of stuff. But anyways, there was a little bit of stuff on the magnet. Cleaned that, pulled the magnet out, cleaned it up, put it all back in. Everything's clean. I'm very happy with what I found here. Nothing alarming, no chunks, just the normal amount of stuff you'd probably find with just normal wear and tear. So we are good to go in that regard. It's going to do it for 30-minute mechanic today. I really wanted to drop the valve body, but I was staring at all them bolts and I decided I better do some reading before I start taking stuff apart. So I don't take something apart I don't need to take apart, or I get things out of order. So that'll be on the next video, is dropping that out and then kind of cleaning stuff up and putting a new one in all at once. So check out the description, check out my friends' channels, and check out Broader Performance on their YouTube channel. And I think their YouTube channel has a link to their website where you can buy products like this valve body. But for now, like, subscribe, ring the bell, tell your friends. We'll see you next time. Bye.